Hello, work life warriors. I hope you're doing well. Today, I wanted to stop past and do my book report or my video on my book report, and I'm reading Antifragile. And so I really needed this book this week. I rushed delivered it here. I am going through a lot, so I figured that before I make some final decisions, I needed to, you know, read about just in general how you can take something that may not be pleasant in the moment and use it to help you grow, especially when you have a plan, you have a vision, a dream that you're working towards. A lot of things that try to stand in your way, or a lot of people, or a lot of things will come and try to cloud your vision, but you have to have the anti-fragility to find a way not to endure the BS, because I don't advocate for enduring it. I advocate transmuting it and turning it into something that you can enjoy instead of dreading doing. So, finding a way to, work through it, rationalize it, or, just resolve your feelings behind it so that you can transmute it into a place that you enjoy doing it. You learn so much from it, you grow, because if you have a negative mindset behind it, you're less likely to learn a lesson from it. If you already think so negatively about it, you're really closed off to what the person is saying or the experience is trying to teach you if you're closed minded and think negatively of it. So I just kind of wanted to refresh and make it make the decision from a place of power instead of a place of fear, or a temporary decision that can impact my overall long-term plan. And so it started because I wasn't really planning on reading a book. I really was just giving myself the information I need by watching videos that help me like figure out exactly how I was going to like maneuver through this situation. And so as I was reading videos, viewing videos, I came across a video and the idea of anti-fragility, and they basically talked about it in a sense of like, think about things that are fragile. And if you think about like a fragile glass, we drink out of glasses, but only experienced people drink out of glasses. So therefore, we only give glasses because glasses are fragile. We only give them to people who are experienced. We don't give drinking glasses to, children. We don't give it to toddlers or babies because it can break because the glass is fragile. So what we tend to do is give people, children, young children or inexperienced people, plastic. So it's a little bit more resilient. If you drop it or bang it against the wall, it doesn't necessarily break. So the sippy cup or the plastic cup is resilient, but it also doesn't improve because of the banging against against the wall or dropping it on the floor. It doesn't improve, and I had already kind of got the idea that resilience is just a natural occurrence of what doesn't kill you make you stronger, because resilience really is no change. You don't get better or you don't get worse because of a situation that happened to you. It's really, you just stay the same. It doesn't make you grow when these situations are happening. So a lot of people are resilient. A lot of things are happening and they view those things they view those things as they are happening to them. But the person who has anti-fragility view it as these situations are happening for me. So it's just all of a matter of how you view it. So, you know, if resilience is natural in the sense of like I didn't die from this experience, but I also didn't grow. So, I mean, we can go through life resilient, and we know a lot of people who are older and they didn't necessarily grow from their experiences. I kind of say, like, have always been searching, like, what's the difference between someone who used, let's say, cocaine, and then they classify as a cocaine addict and then they go and get clean. There's some people who can just, get clean and they never, talk about oh, I've been 20 years clean today. They just get clean and it's a blip in their story. It's a part of their story, but it's not the major part of their story, as opposed to someone who, defines their whole life story by, the moment where they were, addicted to drugs or alcohol, and they'll go, I'm 20 years clean. And I always wondered, like, what's the difference? And this was kind of like helping me to understand, more so like it's just a matter of like how you view it, perception. I think the more anti-fragile you are, the more you realize like, oh, everything is happening to me. Sorry, for me, and therefore I don't have to worry about slipping back into something that is not happening for me. It's kind of like and I guess like in just accepting and reconciling your experiences, like, oh, now I have control. But it kind of feels like the other is like, oh, at any minute I'm at risk of like slipping back in because I don't necessarily have control. So it wasn't necessarily like something that experience made them learn how to have more control over their self, at least enough control where they don't have to think at any moment if they are around, they can slip back into these things, and that they have to define their life, through it. And so, yes, resilience to me is just kind of like the next step in this book. Kind of, and I'm still reading it. I'm in chapter like 6 or 7, but it's helping me understand that anti-fragility is not resiliency. It's something the opposite of it. It's every situation happened to you to make you grow, and because you have gone through it and experienced it and disseminated all of the experiences and thoughts and ideas and feelings and emotions and everything that happened to you, that now you're more equipped to deal with the problem if you were ever faced with it again. And so it's just a matter of mindset. And so in the video, they talked about you want to turn yourself into like a fire pit so that, if something happens to you, like the wind, it makes you, like, because the wind is a metaphor, of course, for like trials and tribulations. And so if something happens, it sets your soul on fire, it like fans your fire and makes you grow and expand instead of putting you out. We know a lot of things that are anti-fragile, like your bones. If you break a bone, it grows back bigger and stronger. Your muscles, we break our muscles to, when we're weightlifting, for them to come back bigger and stronger. So we know a lot of anti-fragile systems, but we also want to be one of those anti-fragile systems. We want to think like everything is happening for the good of us, and it will make us better because it is happening for the good of us, or it's happening for me instead of it's happening against me. And taking the negative stance or the negative mindset, like, woe is me, why is the world against me? It's more so like, oh, I said I wanted to go here or do here or be this person, and all of these things are preparing me for that moment. Even though some of them don't feel good, some of them feel negative, some of them are hurtful, some of them are painful, I know that these things are happening for me and it's preparing me for whatever is next. And so this idea of anti-fragility really hit home with me, and I started to do some more research, and then most people refer to this book um, as their foundation. So I thought that I would go ahead and order it and go through it and see exactly, what I could pick up from it that can help me to solve the situation. And as I said, I'm only in chapter, I think like 6 or 7 right now, but I did find some critical points in it so far that I kind of just want to go through. It's only a couple so far, but I just kind of want to tell you my thoughts on it. And today is Tuesday, so this book will take a little while. So I started it, I think it was Saturday or Friday. So it would at least take me to Sunday to read it. So I probably like the last couple of books that were over 400 pages, and this one is definitely over 400 pages. I will do a couple of videos on my, major thoughts and like the overall thought of it. But yes, I learned so much from this book, and so actually it looks like it's about 7 or 8 of them. that I kind of want to talk about, and I probably go ahead and do this in the next video because this one is already 10 minutes, just kind of giving you an overview of what I gathered so far about anti-fragility. And it's exactly the mindset that I've always carried. There are moments, of course, where I forget and I have to remind myself, but it's so amazing that we live in a time that now when you need resources and you need things to help you, you can always go and find what you need. So there's no excuse to, not get what you need in this world, and then not to be anti-fragile to all that life is throwing at you. So I'm going to come back in part 2 and talk about the first key points from the first 6 or 7 chapters. So I hope that helps, work life warriors. Enjoy your day.